2038. Like I've seen that around before. So
Yeah, 2038 Gakuen. It means like it's like the school, basically. It's
oh, gotcha. All right, well, we are getting into
And-
game 1 here once again. Manta Maria's flat zones.
And 2038 is Nishizawa in Japanese, so this is likely his name.
Oh, okay. Kind of like a
And
tic-tac.
and it's gonna be the exact same team composition from Calamari. They didn't change, so we can expect that they have some kind of well thought strategy here.
Yeah, they're definitely sticking with their guns.
Again, interesting to see here if they're gonna be able to beat Gekka Raimei, which won against Picture Monster, and Yoshimoto who lost against the same composition of Picture Monster. I think
Yep.
Gekka Raimei still has this very huge strength of having the Evis battling on the top middle, and potentially the Slosher as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit of different dynamic this time.
You can
'cause
see the
there's
flank here.
no-
Ryu gets the flank. Can he get the kill? They throw out the Stingray at the same time as the flank. He stays alive, put down so much pressure on this enemy team. Now they are back. They are completely forced to back up to this right side. Ryoken still pushing forward. Atabara also flanked at the same time. There's a flank on both teams, and now it's Yoshimoto, Calamari getting the control of the zones.
Dude, there's been so much flanking and so much aggression happening, but all players are kind of able to kind of bounce back and forth from actually committing with fighting to each other. That like those two flanks took so long, but only like 2 people ended up dying. Finally, we see some map control coming out of Calamari, but I think that's a really good indicator of what's to come with how much these players were able to kind of like dance back and forth with each other and not necessarily commit to a fight.
Absolutely, and now we have Cross putting some pressure on this left side. He has the ball already, which is really good for him because he needs to stay alive and put some pressure down. He's gonna be able to go forward, but 2 players down on each side, Cross and Pion stacked now on this left side, weirdly enough, with their spawn being on the right side. Pion gets the kill. It's a 1v1 situation, not for long though, because both team players are gonna be able to respawn or jump to their teammates. Real long hold now for Calamari.
Yeah, I mean, this
How are they
needs to
gonna be able to hold it?
immediately. The zone gets stopped right now, but like, where is the rest of the team in a position to stop
Pion
the zone?
painting hard. Pion is going for this missile. It needs the missiles now. He's using it, and this could be the end right now for this team. It's really close. It's gonna be the end. They played it so well here at the end. Pion really putting down some insane clutch moments, getting like 2 kills when he was almost alone on the zone, waiting for his teammate to come back.
Yeah, I think that was actually really good teamwork out of Calamari, but when you combine that with moments like that with Pion just getting those clutch picks on top of a really good team strategy is going to be determined by Stingrays, I would believe you.
I would also believe myself, seeing how much, oh my god, so much charge up on the side of the custom jet cluster. And yeah, finally last clutches. No Inkstorm here, they want the missiles.
I mean, missiles are cheap, right?
Missiles work really well for tower control, especially getting the people off tower in defense. It works really well. When you want to get a push, you just push them back with missiles.
Especially when the tower is like near some place like a checkpoint as well. It has like this
Exactly.
double.
So missiles doesn't get kills, but missiles gets you map control and it gets you pressure. So it's usually what you need for the win rather than anything.
Speaking of
Stingray ready.
Slasher is pushed up really far. He might actually get taken out by Cross. No, he doesn't. Stingray is going down right now.
And
So
we
this
see how they play together, right? Pion and Cross stayed together. Cross has been the bodyguard of Pion this entire time. Just played around him this whole time just to make sure he didn't die while using the Stingray for the defense. Now Tabaru gets the kill they need to push back. 53, not a great push. Most likely not enough to hold until the end of this game, but we'll see if no team gets to play together. Nishizawa here with the flank on this right side, pushing back with missiles ready as well, pushing back the Slosher. Here comes the missiles. That could be a push for Yoshimoto.
but a Stingray happens.
And here comes the Stingray 1v1. The second Stingray comes a little later. Nishizawa got taken out. Well, the push was not enough pressuring for Gekka Raimei to look at him.
Yeah, I think that though, look, you kind of mentioned before that like 53 probably doesn't seem like the game-winning push on this map. We talked earlier about how like some maps have like those critical points where it's like once you get past that choke point, like you're kind of guaranteed to almost knock it out. On this map, it kind of once you get over the water is when that starts to happen, and 53 just isn't at that point yet, especially not without that checkpoint. So I think that the Calamari has plenty of opportunity to put a better push together.
Yeah, and 3 of them died, and it seems like Gekka Raimei players just didn't push up towards Cross. they just let him give jumps to his teammates. I'm so surprised by this play, and they still have full control. Atobaru gets a double kill with Cross. Now it's pushing forward to really important area to control when doing this push. Now Okura used the Stingray already. There's one player down on the side of Calamari, but the Stingray is ready. The boy is ready. Oh my god, so many players are actually down. I'm so surprised how they all died from this long range, but it seems like Raimei got the kills they needed to get this defense without any specials, and this is gonna go back to Raimei domination here.
Yeah, we'll get
really getting a huge kill here on Pion, potentially pressuring him in the spawn.
If he gets this kill, this is going to be really huge for the outcome of the story. It ends up being a trade. And there's a Stingray battle going on right now, so I guess it's really going to come down to the Stingray battle. If this push is going to be able to keep going, that it is not.
Very difficult to win a Stingray battle against Pion, though. He hasn't lost a single one so far today in these matches, but doesn't seem to be enough to make his team win consistently. Hiragi playing here this 96 with armor, getting double kill with his Slosher on Atobaru and Cross. Pion and Nishizawa to back up.
Splatling right now is pushing Pion back, but Pion is going to be a little bit persistent right here and make sure that he's not backing up unless he absolutely has to. He's going to jump out for the Stingray, and he's going to be able to have a Stingray for defense coming up right now. So as long as nothing, particularly bad happens, I think Pion's going to be able to defend against this. But I mean, look at where the tower's starting to push. It
starts to look pretty bad. They're losing some 1v1s. Atobaru goes down here to the Slosher. Pion is facing close range against the Slosher. And this can be a winning push here for Gekka Raimei. I think this looks really bad for them. There's someone in their spawn. There's Juke still in their spawn. And this is most likely a winning push with 1 minute remaining. I don't quite see it. I think we're probably gonna get the kill in Hiragi here. Cross getting some pressure down on the tower. Ryu jumps off. No kills here for him. What a push here.
Yeah, this is really big. I mean, 17 is not a knockout, but with only 40 seconds left and how far through that choke point the tower's pushed, is basically a game-winning push. And I was also really surprised at how poorly the defense went. I mean, there was a Stingray basically ready in a safe position, and by the time we get done thinking about it, the Stingray is like getting in a one-on-one with a tri-slasher in mid while his teammates die in his base. It was a completely misposition there from Calamari, and it looks like it's going to cost him this game with only 15 seconds left.
Cross absolutely needs this kill. The Slosher has always been so important for his team. Every time is hiding in some very important areas to control and just holding his trigger, waiting for 2 players to go through, and he just gets a double kill every single time.
And the rest of it is like controlling what they should be controlling at the same time. So it's not like he's not contributing towards the main game plan, right? Like as long as
it's definitely used in defense at least, but in offense, the Tri-Slosher is much weaker with the lack of range. We can see he's getting the first frag with less armors than the 96. I don't think 96 has been, and it seems like it's gonna be the case. We're gonna see a cancel machine from the Slosher player. He gave up on his Slosher and his Tri-Slosher for a cancel machine. It's the first time I actually see him play this weapon.
Well, the fizzies are really effective on this map, being able to throw them down those hallways and stop things from happening. Early Ray, but it's not gonna be able to stop this.
Very early armor, very early Stingray. But it looks like a potential push for Yoshimoto Calamari if they get to be able to push these players, and it doesn't seem as Okura gets the kill on Pion and Cross as well. Such a huge clutch by the custom jet culture of Gekka Raimei here. Atobaru loses the 1v1 to Ryuku in the middle, and it's gonna be a full comeback, potentially a really fast counter push from Gekka Raimei.
It looks like they're being wary of someone potentially sharking over here.
And they also have the Stingray ready here. 2 dead on the side of Yoshimoto. This game could go really, really fast if they get to clear Atobaru out of this position. He's gonna stay alive for a bit, pressured by the Stingray, and he's gonna be able to go through. 32 is already pretty good. I think 32 can win some games.
Especially on this map, 32 is like a pretty respectable push. And I mean, like, you saw like that kind of this corner, like right now where we're kind of seeing the Jet Squelcher stand. Getting the Rainmaker past that point is pretty difficult. So the fact that he was able to stand on that box, jump, and then walk up the path a little bit, it puts the goalpost at a pretty
exactly. I think the push would have not been enough. If it was before that point. I think the push is at 21 if you reach the grates in the middle, which could also be lead, but the push in the middle is obviously much harder to pull off here.
Yeah,
Another 2 down.
kind of
on their side.
difficult to actually go there without getting pressured immediately, right? Because it's just so easy for the defenders to actually stop you if you're trying to go up their street. It's kind of, they need to be out of position for you to go for that.
Yeah, and we can see here that Yoshimoto Calamari doesn't really have a player on the right side. We sure Yukun came coming from this middle grate. He was flanking all the way from the right side. You see, all 4 players are playing mid to left. You don't really check the right side in case there's a player flanking. There is no one yet, but we never know what could happen if they don't check out. Certainly, the Stingray will not be able to do much. A defensive Stingray comes out, probably gonna be the end of this push for Calamari here.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like if that Ray, if we're in a situation where the Ray basically like determines everything, right? Like if that Stingray wasn't there, I feel like the people wouldn't have been taken out because the people that died during that push only died because the Ray was happening and a teammate was assisting at the same time. I guess just another example of like how these really strong synergies can just make and break games.
I feel in general in this games we see that the Japanese players tend to just spam their Stingray without really thinking how they would do in like probably solo queue. But I think in competitive, they haven't played enough of these tower control and Rainmaker matches to know that you really need, if you're the aggressor, you absolutely need to save your Stingray for when you're pushing to just simply cancel the other Stingray and trigger this 1v1.
Yeah, because if you go down in that kind of like this special economy almost, I guess you could refer to it as, you get this
absolutely
whole thing just like completely changes the outcome of the game. And,
sounds like Counter-Strike, but I definitely And we can see here the defensive Stingray is ready on the side of Yoshimoto Calamari. Pion gets the kill. He plays so aggressive, even with the Stingray ready. Can he get this kill? That would be so huge. It doesn't die at least.
You see, push them back. But if the Rainmaker is going to go to the left, those picks are going to have to happen. It looks like someone is going to be sharking. Yep, they're going to be able to kill that Rainmaker. That person was not taken out before that Rainmaker went around that corner. But the Rainmaker is able to
ready this time. The machine needs to go down. This is going to be a push for Yoshimoto. They need to see. Pion is dead. They're not gonna have a Stingray here to counter this Stingray, and it's not gonna be a push for them. There's not gonna be enough.
Yep, and it looks like other members are gonna be able to respawn in and put.
It's still 2 down. The machine has a really good position here to be able to block and delay for his teammate. Pion gets the kill. Pion takes the Rainmaker. He doesn't care for the Stingray this time. He's gonna be able to get the lead here. That's a great, very well executed push on the side of Calamari. They've been holding it perfectly.
Really good nerve of Calamari to kind of like stay stable in that situation where like they were taken out by like the Stingray and they had people going down. They were able to just kind of hold.
I think they knew that Gekka Raimei was going to push them forward, and instead of just engaging the 1v1s, they just waited them out in their own ink and waited for an advantage and took 2 picks from that.
Go for a push late. Survive now. Get your team ready to go for a push later. And that kind of decision making, it seems to be what ended up winning this game. And
it seems like the machine is doing a lot of work again, killing Cross, putting Pion back to the spawn, and pushing back Nishizawa here. Only gonna be Atobaru defending this left side, which is gonna be last push. We have a Stingray being ready. It comes out. Atobaru goes down as well as Ryukun. Cross now defending. The Stingray didn't quite get the kill. Nishizawa pushing forward, doesn't really care. He just focuses the Rainmaker, and there's a lot of players down on the side of Yoshimoto Calamari here. They have the full control though. 2 players down. It seems like this game is probably gonna go to Calamari.
Yeah, they weren't really having specials ready leading up to that, but this Rainmaker has just been alive so long, it's letting everyone get in position. That's going to be it.
I think it was kind of a mistake of Nishizawa to just run towards the Rainmaker at this ending, or just use the Stingray very early from Pion. They didn't need to like go play that aggressive, because the only reason they would lose is because they would give themselves into their enemy shots.
Right? Yeah.
It'd be really disturbing, and we're gonna see Nishizawa is pulling out some ink brush action, and that's absolutely beautiful. And we're just gonna see the very similar comps. Actually, I'm surprised that there's 2 armors on both sides with Trash Losher and A3R Enza, which similarly fill the same role.
I'm interested in seeing what happens to Calamari's map control when the H3D in particular, from Atobaru isn't available to kind of like get paint control, because it seems like this comp could be a comp where when certain key members aren't alive, it's really hard to get map control. And if that's taken advantage of, we could see them have difficulty actually making pushes happen. That all being said, though, Pion doesn't really seem to have that much trouble kind of getting mid, putting pressure on people. we see him going after this kill, and Trench doesn't
very aggressively on this big bit. Is supported by his teammate. I think his teammate's gonna get the kill here. That's a really huge push potentially for Yoshimoto Calamari. The Stingray comes in, so we can notice that there is no Stingray. This is great push. There's absolutely no way. This is not a push that goes forward. And Pion, he has control of this long.
8 clans from mid, by the way.
And the rest of the team push from mid. Definitely, as you said, they have some players that can push from the flank and make enough disturbance for clearing out the middle.
So that's actually not as many points as maybe we anticipated to get put in there. There was some really
feel pretty decent. They only it's a very early game. You don't really have time to gather up a lot of clams. You don't have a clam from losing the basket earlier. So I think it's pretty decent push for a start.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely shows what kind of pushes could be coming. Oh, look at this flank on the Stingray once again. How many times?
It stays alive for some reason.
Wow,
and he dies. He stays alive and he dies. Teammate get the revenge kill here. That's so important. And it seems that's gonna be a great push for Gekka potentially.
Oh, but this clam is gonna go in. So any kind of push that would have came off of that.
Well, we talked about this flank, right? We talked about it. And Nishizawa putting out some Ingbrush action here with a full flank objective play. Doesn't care about anything else. It just disturbs the enemy team.
Yeah, it definitely disrupts any ability for that push. And I mean, it looked like Raimei was gearing up for a push right there. And then that Inkbrush just kind of comes in and puts in that clam. It just completely slows everything down. And look how much
push.
Look how much map control Raimei doesn't have leading out of that. Like the map, maybe the map is a little bit yellow, but they're still on their side of the base, not even pushed up into.
Yeah, they haven't died. They just had to clear out a guy from scoring and winning the game. They didn't die. No one died actually during this whole time. And now Cross is
only the Inkbrush, but he's the one that we're giving the credit to, right?
Exactly. And Slosher 1v1 comes in. No player is weak. They have 2 big clans on 2 footballs on the side of Gekka, so they're trying to save it and not die too close to the spawn. But Okura goes down. No more Stingray, no more backline here. Cross gets the kill on Hiragi. This could be so huge for them. It dies to a bomb, sadly. And this is gonna reset probably this push for Yoshimoto.
Yeah, we have to wait a little bit for another potential push to get geared up. But I mean, look at the map control that Calamari has now. This is looking a lot better than we saw earlier. As long as they're able to kind of not have anyone drop while leading up to situations like this kill out of Audibaro, they should be in position to push again. Members going back and forth in the middle of the map, though. It looks like there's some picks back and forth.
Is executing some kind of push. They need to retake right now. They use the armor. They got the pick on Nishizawa and Cross as well. Pion is holding mid alone now with his bamboozler, trying to put pressure on these players, and he's gonna probably have to back up, and he actually has to die. Gekka getting a lot of control here from this armor push. And Stingray comes in now. They want to get to mid. They want to score right now. This is gonna probably work for them. Nishizawa is not placed in a position to defend this push.
They need more clams after this, though.
And you only need 1 clam for a lead. This is not much, but it doesn't seem like any player of Gekka is close enough to be able to put this clam. It's gonna still be a Calamari lead here.
Yeah, it seems like they're just opting to keep map control and make sure that they don't die leading up to this last 45 seconds. Because even if they do get lead right there, if they all go down, they put their enemy in this really easy position to just take it quickly anyway. So it's really
see how Calamari had perfect positioning here. They were all watching some different path where potential flanker could just sneak and put some 1 clan they are missing to get the lead.
But they're already on top.
And there's now 3 specials available with 24 seconds remaining on top of Calamari. This is really huge for them. And Ryuku goes down. This could very well be the end of this game here.
This is looking really sketchy. I mean, anything can kind of happen. And
I guess the kill now.
It needs to be a power clan.
Mention pops with the rest of his bowler. There is no ball available. There is 1 ball available.
They made 1.
And this is overtime now. Pion here in the mid, probably gonna get this kill or at least pressure him back.
Yeah, I don't really know who's able to get into a jump position
right now. They need to pull out the Inkstorm from the mid. The Stingray comes in with the Inkstorm. It could be a push. And 3 of them go down with some perfect positioning from Pion. I'm sad we didn't get to see his point of view, but that's gonna be the end of the series. 3-1 for Calamari here.
Wow, I mean that game was so tense that definitely could have gone to Gekka favor at any point in time. But both of these teams, it's just, I love seeing high-level matches like this where both teams just present such a threat to each other that they're just unable to really get the huge pushes to happen, right? So it all really comes down to just really just in the moment decision making, little things, being able to get one team enough control to go for a push that ends up winning the game. I mean, you were kind of alluding